Hi there, my name is Travis, and I wanted to talk today about one of my favorite plant medicines, probably the plant medicine that I work with the most often. It's called Rapé, or some people pronounce it Hape, and it has a bunch of other different tribal names, but I usually call it Rapé. And Rapé is a powdered tobacco snuff that comes from the Amazon, and usually the two main ingredients in the snuff are the natural tobacco from the Amazon. Some people call mapacho, and then there's also tree ash from different sacred trees. So depending on what tribe is making the rapé, they'll use different trees for different purposes. You'll see different names for rapé because the name rapé, I'm pretty sure, is actually a French word. It's a French word for grating, like you're going to grate something. And Rapé was actually the first tobacco product ever brought to Europe. So for a while, it got really popular in Europe. And I believe that name was actually brought back from Europe. The different tribes that worked with Rapé traditionally in the Amazon all had their own different names for it. I know, like the Matses call it Nunu, and there's a bunch of different names for it. Um, but in Brazil, where Rapé is especially popular, they speak Portuguese, and R's are pronounced like an H, so a lot of people call it Hape. Uh, but I usually spend my time in Peru, and in Peru they speak Spanish, so R's are pronounced the way they are in English, and they just call it Rapé, and in French it would be called the Rapé. So Rapé is a powdered tobacco snuff, like I said before, and it can be used for a lot of different purposes. It can be used as a plant medicine on its own, or as a plant medicine being combined with other medicines. A lot of times it's traditionally used before, during, or after ayahuasca ceremonies, and it's also often used before and after combo ceremonies. Um, and I've found that it goes great with any type of medicine, San Pedro or mushrooms, anything. It's just really great stuff. So some of the reasons you might feel like you want to work with Rapé, maybe you want to connect with the tobacco plant. This is a really great way to work with tobacco. Maybe you want to deepen your meditation practice. Rapé is really great for meditation and really helps you have deep, focused meditations. And it also makes meditation a little bit more enjoyable and exciting if you need a little bit of motivation to help you get into that. It's also really good for working on your personal energy, for cleansing and purifying yourself. It's good for focusing the mind and becoming in tune with your body and your surroundings. It's good for working on a lot of different types of healing. And I use it for just about everything. Say sometimes I'll start to get a little emotional or a little overly analytical, and I'll start thinking about things in my head, or I'm just overreacting to things. I'll remember, oh, I should do some rapé. It'll help me get out of that emotional pattern so that I can react to things better and not get carried away. It'll also help me focus my mind. If I'm getting over analytical, it'll kind of stop that chatter and bring me back into my heart. And it does this pretty much instantly. It's really great if I feel like I'm picking up heavy energy and I want to cleanse and purify my energy. I'll work with Rapé. Helps a lot. If I'm starting to have fears or anxieties about something, I can work with Rapé to move through that. If I have an issue that I'm working on that I feel like I need some insight, or I need to resolve something emotionally, or I need to shift a habit or a pattern, or I need healing with something, I can work with Rapé. If I want some insight or guidance, I can work with the Rapé and get some insight through my meditation with the Rapé, either from the tobacco itself, just getting in better tune with my own mind and my heart, or even, tobacco is a very powerful plant medicine, can help you connect to any spirits, spirit guides, God, whatever, Mother Earth, whatever you want to connect to. So it's really good regardless of where I feel like I need the guidance from. Rapé will help me receive that guidance better. It's also really good when you want to have some powerful prayer. When I feel like my heart really wants to pray for something, sometimes I'll work with Rapé first just to really empower my prayer, because it opens my heart. So like I really put my heart into my prayers. And it really helps focus your mind, so your intention in your prayers is really focused. And they say that tobacco is like an amplifier of your intentions and a direct line of communication with Great Spirit. And so it really helps feel like your prayers are connecting with something. I also use it a lot with other plant medicines and for a lot of different reasons. So say I'm working with something like San Pedro, and maybe I drank the San Pedro and it's been a while and I feel like the San Pedro is a little light and needs to open up a little bit more. Or maybe somebody else is having a problem where they feel like the San Pedro is not opening up at all. I might ask if they want to do some rapé, or I might serve myself some rapé. And this is great because it helps open up the plant medicine that you're working with. Tobacco helps you connect with other spirits and other plant medicines. And you can even use special visionary rapés for connecting more deeply with plant medicines. Usually visionary rapés might have something like yopo or chacruna added to it. And those plants have small amounts of DMT, not enough for a real visionary or psychedelic experience, but enough just to help you connect with the plant medicine you're working with and to help open up your inner vision a little bit more. So it's really helpful for a lot of different stuff. Um, it's also really good if you're working with something like ayahuasca or mushrooms and you feel like the medicine's a little bit overwhelming or disorienting or a little confusing or unfocused, or your mind's just like wandering a lot. It's really good for helping focus that so you don't feel so disoriented or so overpowered anymore. It helps you feel strong and focused and empowered, and just really in tune with yourself. It's also really good if you have a blockage. So maybe you feel like some energy needs to move and it's stuck, it's not moving. You could do the rapé to help move that. Maybe you feel like you need to purge something and you're having a little trouble to purge stuck or it's just not coming out. You can use rapé and it'll either help you purge or sometimes it'll just clear it so that you don't feel like you need to purge anymore. It's also really good like if you feel like a lot of emotions coming up but they're not quite coming out. You just need a little help getting past that a barrier and getting a little bit more vulnerable. It can really help you get those emotions flowing. And it's also really good if you just had a lot of purging or just had something powerful going on and you feel like now you're ready to move on from that and switch gears. It's really good for helping you switch gears. It's also just nice during plant medicine ceremony for having a little bit of extra focused intention or just switching things up a little bit. It can be really great before or after plant medicines. Before plant medicines, it helps warm you up, get you ready for the medicine, and helps purify you a little bit so you're better ready to receive the medicine. Afterwards, it helps you. It's like if you smudge yourself with sage or tobacco after ceremony, you're cleansing some of your energy. You can do the same thing with rapé. So it's a good like final cleansing after ceremony. Pretty much every ceremony I do, at the end of ceremony, I'll smudge. If the ceremony is indoors, I'll smudge the whole space, smudge participants and myself, and then I'll do rapé as a final cleansing. And I noticed, when I do a lot of ceremonies, it's easy to start picking up some heavy energy here and there. But when I work with rapé regularly, and especially when I finish the ceremonies that way, I don't feel like I'm picking up and accumulating energy. I just feel like I'm staying on top of that and keeping my energy really pure and clean. So there's a lot of different ways you can work with rapé. Um, I'm going to give you guys a little demo. I have some rapé. It's from the Kutanawa tribe, and this is just a regular tribal rapé. It's pretty strong, but it's doesn't have any like the visionary stuff in it. It's just tobacco and triash, and there's some flowers in there. It's just a really nice rapé for balancing and centering yourself and cleansing yourself and focusing the mind. I have some different cool blowpipes. So traditionally, best way to work with rapé is to share it with somebody else. So one person blows for their partner, and then the partner serves them. And the rapé, I can show you like this is one of the blowpipes I have. It's when you have a blowpipe for serving someone else, it's called a tepi. And this one's a really pretty one made out of some different reed. And if I had a partner, I would pour rapé into my hand, enough for both of their nostrils. I'll scoop it, and then I like to do a little prayer with them beforehand. Sometimes I'll just sit there and I'll focus on connecting our energy with my intentions, and I'll think about the intention that we have for serving the rapé right then. And sometimes I even like to do a little prayer where I'll ask, hold the rapé down lower and ask, Mother Earth, please bless this rapé and bless my breath. And then I'll hold it up and ask, Great Spirit, please bless my breath and bless my rapé. And then I'll hold it at my heart and intend that this medicine is coming from my heart. And then I'll hold it out to them. There's rapé for one nostril in here, the other half would be in my hand. I'll hold it out and I'll say, your left nostril first. They'll guide it into their left nostril. I'll blow. And then I'll scoop up the second half, hold it to their right nostril, and you want to do the second nostril as soon after the first one as you can. I'll serve that one again. And you want to give them a little time to like meditate and sit with that, and when they're ready, they could then serve you and share the medicine together. With rapé, you're really putting intention into your breath. So there's this very special relationship with your breath. In the Amazonian traditions, breath is really important. They sing medicine songs, they blow the tobacco smoke, they blow the rapé. You put intention in your breath, and the tobacco empowers that. So you can put any intention in your breath. You can intend like a general intention for healing, or maybe you have something very specific that you want to heal, and that'll be your intention. You can have help me have a deep meditation, or help connect me to Great Spirit, help me open my heart, help me connect to this forest that I'm sitting in. One time I had somebody after a plant medicine ceremony, they were saying, wow, that was great, but I feel like I'm forgetting some of my insights and I wish I could remember them. And then they asked if they could do rapé, and so I had the idea, I'm going to intend that they remember what they felt like they were forgetting. And so I served rapé. I didn't tell them beforehand what my intention was when I blew the rapé for them, but they sat there for a couple minutes and meditated, and they go, wow, that was great. All the things I thought I forgot just all of a sudden came back to me. I remembered them all, and I was like, great, it worked. So rapé is really great. There's even different breaths that you can do. They often name them after like animals. I would just say, unless you're learning breaths for somebody, or unless you feel like the rapé is teaching you breaths, a good way to breathe with the rapé is do a strong, steady breath, and at the end do a little extra push, and you can kind of push your tongue up into the top of your mouth. It sounds like, or when I'm blowing in here. So I got this really nice caripe. I also got this one. It's for serving two nostrils at the same time, which is actually a pretty awesome sensation. And then this is my favorite one to use lately. It's made out of bone and this special wood from the Amazon called chonta. And it's just a little bit bigger, so like it really carries your breath and you don't have to blow very hard, but it really gets the rapé in there with some good power without pushing it too far back. Just serves it really well. I really love this technique. For serving myself, I have this little guy. It's called a caripe when it's a pipe for serving yourself, and I can give you like a side view. It fits into my nose and my mouth at the same time, so I can serve myself. This is great. So just for when you don't have a partner that you can share it with, you can still do rapé and use your breath and intention. If you don't have any blowpipes, you can still have your rapé, and the way they would actually use it in Europe most of the time, they just make a fist, dump some of the rapé here on this flat part of your hand, and sniff it off. So that was a really popular way of doing rapé. And if you don't have blowpipes, you can still work with rapé that way and get a good effect. The blowpipes are great for just making it feel more ceremonial, and it also adds this layer of intention using your breath, which helps a lot. And traditionally with rapé, if you don't know medicine songs, you can just work with rapé and pray and set your intention, and the rapé will help you do the rest. But traditionally, they'll often sing medicine songs with it, so it's great if you know how to sing medicine songs to sing a song after you serve the rapé, or to play like a little bit of flute or guitar or something. It goes really beautifully with the rapé and does something really nice. So I'm going to serve myself some of this rapé. You'll notice I'll do my left nostril first. The left nostril represents the feminine, and it's a type of symbolic death. And then I'm going to do my right nostril next, which is the more masculine side and represents a type of rebirth. And you want to do both sides so that you're balanced on both sides. So you don't really want to just serve one nostril at a time. You want to do both sides. And maybe afterwards I'll just sing a little bit and then meditate and just give you a little example of what it looks like when somebody does rapé. So the amount that you could use for rapé, I usually recommend people, if they're new to rapé, start with something about the size of a pea. You can do smaller or larger servings if you want to get a stronger or lighter effect, if you feel like you're sensitive, or if you start to build the tolerance when you're working with rapé more. It's hard with the camera to show how much I have in my hand, but I guess I have about 3 peas worth. It's a good little chunk. I like to do larger servings of rapé because I like the stronger effect, and I really feel like it cleanses me more deeply with that. So I'm going to scoop half the rapé that's in my hand right now into the pipe. And I like to take 3 breaths and just pray for a second while I serve myself. And the rapé can sting a little bit when it first goes in. Often makes your eyes watering, my eyes watering a little bit. It's good to always have a tissue in case your nose runs. You can wipe. Rapecito mamancuna yariri, sinke merecina yariri, limpe cuerpacito yariri, limpe esperito yariri, sinki medicina yariri, sinki carito yariri. Chuya medicina yaridi. Corazón yaridi. Tokoi wancancito yaridi. Tokoi almacita yaridi. So that's just a short little song, just asking for the medicine to be pure and strong and to clean my body and my spirit. And you don't have to sing Icaros with your rapé. You can just pray and use it, and you'll get a good effect. Usually, I like to meditate a little bit longer, but I'm just talking for the purposes of this video. Yeah, so it's a great medicine. I mentioned, it often stings a little bit when it first goes in. The sting usually just lasts like 20-30 seconds. It's not too bad. Sometimes it could be more intense if you have some strong energies to let go of, or a lot of energy to clear, or if you do a really large serving, it could be pretty potent. When you're doing larger servings, especially if you got some energy to let go of, it is possible to purge or puke. I've done rapé hundreds and hundreds of times. I've only ever puked from it twice, and both times I was doing really large servings, and it was during ayahuasca ceremony. So it's not very common to puke from it. Sometimes the process is a little uncomfortable, but a lot of times it actually feels pretty good. You'll often feel a lot of energy moving through your body, like through your head. You'll feel like your energy centers opening up. You'll feel heightened awareness of your body. Your breath gets more powerful. You'll start to feel your sinuses clear and become more open. One of the great things about rapé is it clears mucus out of the body, and if you don't know, mucus is a strong carrier of like bacteria and stuff. So when you have too much mucus, it's easier to get sick more often. So even just clearing mucus out of your body with the rapé is a very helpful and healthy thing for you. Cool thing about rapé is there was a 30-year study on daily heavy habitual users, and it showed no health issues in those users. They weren't people using it ceremonially. They were people that were using it for recreation. And even those people, they had no increased risk of cancer or anything like that. I'll say whenever you work with tobacco, tobacco used in the right way can be a very powerful medicinal plant, but it is not a 100% safe plant. there's always a little bit of risk working with tobacco, but if you have the right relationship to it, tobacco will treat you well. It's always treated me well. I've been working with it a long time, and I've only had good experiences with it so far. Sorry, I have to keep wiping my nose, but this is a pretty large serving. I hope this is a good, insightful video. If you have any questions about Rapé, let me know. I can recommend some good sources for getting Rapé. They'll be down in the description of the video. And I can recommend some of my favorite Rapés I get from those online shops, so that if you are interested in Rapé, you can actually order it online. It comes straight to your door and you can work with it. It's a beautiful medicine. You can use it daily if you like. You can just use it every once in a while when you feel the inspiration to work with Rapé. And thank you for listening to the video. If you want to find out more about plant medicines and Rapé, check out my website too. It's soulremedy.org, or check out one of my books, The Plant Remedy, or my newer book, How the Earth Saved My Soul. And thanks for listening. Talk to you later.